welcome to another basketball edition of the Adrienne Ross Show. If you have not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. You guys know, if you frequent the channel, you know that I did a video in which I said that if I were Coach Christie Sides, or if I were coaching, all right, this team, then I would not be resting my starters for this final game, even though some people were calling it meaningless. Enter the Pope, be frank. You know, he was on my show. We did a live together. He had mentioned that he would rest his starters, or some of the starters, right? And so we said, okay, he said he'll make a video, I'll make a video, and then we'll let you guys decide. Now, I won that poll by a landslide last I saw. However, in that game, Kelsey Mitchell went down early in the game, which of course makes him feel like he was right when he said that he would rest his starters. Honestly, my opinion hasn't changed, but we're going to talk about it. I said that if I'm coaching this team, I'm coaching with my starters. I'm going to coach with my starters. I'm not sitting my starters. He said when he put his video out that he said that if he were coaching, he wouldn't even suit up Caitlin. He wouldn't have Kelsey Mitchell suit up. I disagree with him. Again, I said that I am not the kind of person. My whole mindset is all out. My whole mindset is that every game matters. I don't even buy into the idea of a meaningless game. What he's saying is that you never want to risk a player getting hurt. You don't, and he said that they might try to hurt Caitlin. And maybe if it was Connecticut, I would feel that way, or Phoenix, I would feel that way. I didn't really have a reason to feel that way with Washington. But again, a lot of people said, why, at least he said it from the jump. He didn't know what was going to happen with Kelsey. He said, I just wouldn't start him because you've been wanting to get to the playoffs. I would not take the chance. Okay. You got other people, they came along after the fact, and they're going to, use that as an opportunity to dog Christie Sides. But again, like I said, so say I again, that I am playing to win. We had a game against Dallas on Sunday, which we barely won, right? So we've been working on those things since. I'm not going to wait till the playoff game 1 against, Connecticut to figure out if we got it. I want to test it out. I want to see what we can do. I also want to make sure, if I can, that we play well and that we get the W. So you win the game, you're 21-19 on the season. You lose the game, you're 20-20, which is respectable, but it's mediocre. When I consider the fact that we need to work on stuff, when I consider the fact that this team is inexperienced, doesn't have playoff experience, when I consider the fact that we had a game we barely won against Dallas, when I consider the fact that the coach is inexperienced, when I consider all those things and not being prone to make decisions based on fear of somebody getting hurt when they could have gotten hurt before and they could get hurt in game 1 or game 2, I'm not going to make those kind of decisions based on that. So I'm playing my starters. Now, at the beginning of this game, I said Christie Sides was probably going to do this. This is what I said during the live. I said, my guess is that she told her starters, listen, go out there. You're playing Washington. But Washington was playing for a possible number 8 spot. So they're coming to play. So I'm telling my players, if you go out there and take care of business, my starters, and you play extremely well, this is what she's probably saying. I said, you go out there and you play extremely well, you get a large lead, then you'll get less minutes, right? But I also said this team is prone to losing leads. So I think Christie Sides said it right before the game. I found out later, she said she wasn't sure. She was going to let the game dictate. I can't allow the fact that Kelsey Mitchell, fell down and had to walk off a little bit of pain to make the decision that, oh no, we shouldn't have played her at all. No, I don't agree. Now, less minutes, yeah. Like I had said, if you are like the unwritten rule in basketball, if you're blowing teams away, okay, yeah. Or if you're losing by that much, yeah. But no, I'm not just going to say I'm not going to dress Caitlin. I'm not going to dress Kelsey Mitchell. That's just not how I'm going to roll. You can get injured at any time. That's part of the game, So to me, It's not a smart decision. See, basketball is a lot of people, they approach basketball by concepts, right? The concept says, the idea is that this game is meaningless. And so they don't need to play. And that's the kind of concept that's out there. But basketball is not played in concepts. Basketball is played with individuals, and every situation is different. And in this situation, Indiana is not the Las Vegas Aces. The Las Vegas Aces sat A'ja Wilson, sat Kelsey Plum, right? But they're the defending champs. They have experience in the playoffs. They had something to gain or lose. They could have moved to that third spot, but that tells me, and it sounds like Noelle Quinn kind of touched on that. If you heard her comments, that's the Seattle coach, that word on the street was that they didn't want to play Indiana. So there's probably some gamesmanship there, and they decided not to, play their star, their stars, right? But Indiana is not Las Vegas. And Christie Sides is not Becky Hammon, right? And even think about, you want to talk about, well, whether it's smart or not to play them. I mean, think of New York. New York locked in at the #1 seed. They've got nothing to lose. So by some people's reasoning, there's absolutely no way their starters should be dressed for the game at all. And New York did not do that. Did they play less minutes like Indiana did? They did. Breanna Stewart played, though. Jonquel Jones played a whole lot of minutes. So there's that. Seattle, they were locked in. Did their starters play? Absolutely. Okay? They played minutes. So not everybody subscribes to that mindset. So between Seattle, you look at Seattle, let me take a look. Seattle played the Mercury. The Mercury also locked in. Nothing to gain or lose there. But take a look at that. You had Kalia Copper. She played 25 plus minutes. Sophie Cunningham played over 20 minutes. Brittany Griner played over 20 minutes. Diana Taurasi over 18 minutes. Natasha Clout over 20 minutes, right? So not everybody said the game is meaningless, even though they had nowhere to move at all, okay? Same thing with Seattle. Seattle, boom. What do they got? Agumake, over 23 minutes. She played. Skylar Diggins-Smith, 25 minutes. So you get my point, So for those who say, I wouldn't play them, I get it. Everybody I totally understand it too. So everybody has their coaching philosophy, but you can't just make a one size fits all. This team needed to play. They don't have the experience. They needed to work on some stuff. And so again, if I'm the coach, I'm playing you. May not play you as much, right? Like we saw. And I figured that would be what Christie would end up doing, saying, let's see what you do, and then we'll go from there. So, that's my take on that. Like I said, I have not changed my mind on that. Now, Kelsey Mitchell, she was fine. She came out. They said she warmed up during halftime. She was out on the bench. She came out with a brace on her knee, then took the brace off, was jumping up with the team, doing all that. So, it's all good. But I can't have that mindset like, what if, because it just doesn't work like that in basketball. Play your game. Now, if you're up by 30 or down by 30 in garbage minutes, that's a whole different story. But this time, you're trying to get out to a good start. And so, yeah, I say you play your starters, although I respect the other side. But I'm not the only one who's saying that, because we got other teams in this league who obviously felt the same way. And Las Vegas, they took a different road. Minnesota took a different road, but, these teams have won some championships. Changes everything. Basketball is not a concept. It's a game that has to be played, and very often it's situational. All right, again, hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so, and I will catch you next time, God willing. God bless you abundantly.